working out of the new house, I guess. As you start to move forward, how were you keeping your mead temperature stable? Because I know you guys get some pretty high temps there while you were fermenting. How are you doing that?
Very, very badly there for a little while. We didn't, we didn't have anything going on, and but 2 years has been my mead experience, and it's just been going hard out. And so I'd be making things in completely the wrong season, and just late last year I was making some bigger batches of some meads that had been successful from a pilot point of view. Bang, and our household is up to 35, 36 degrees Celsius. That's like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll do the equations for you guys. And my mead was punching up to 30 degrees, and it was just going nuts. And it's reflected. It's hot. It's fusels. It needs a lot of time to age, and clearly that doesn't work. So we had an opportunity. We're yet to use it, but we were lucky enough to get our hands on 3 jacketed glycol chilling fermenters. We obviously need to get the associated equipment for that. We need to get cleaning place equipment, but the glycol chiller, especially, once we've got that, we can really start to dial in and narrow down our ferment range. But apart from that, it was just that what everyone else does. You get a fridge or you get a freezer, you convert it, you put in the temp gauge that will turn the temperature off and on, and just choose that temperature range that you will like the effects that that use will give you at that temperature range, and just try and narrow that in. But I know Frank ferments at about 20 degrees. I think Ken's a little bit cooler. We just have to experiment, don't we, guys? I mean, if no one else is not willing, but if it's hard to find that information, which it was a few years ago, now it's exploding. This knowledge that's out there is exploding, and I think there's no reason why we can't make modern meads, knowing that temperature is one of the biggest influential components of creating a good mead. If we can ferment cool, we can ferment clean, we're going to have a great product at the end that won't need any alterations, and that's our aim always, is to think about what we want at the end and aim for that without tweaking it at the end to sort of represent that. If the acidity is not enough, we don't use additives, we won't use adjuncts or preservatives or anything like that. We have an idea and we just go straight out and try and achieve that.
Nice. So I'm going to drag you back over to the pink pink peppercorn strawberry. I'm sorry, I have to. Yeah. Or pink peppercorn vanilla, rather. I'm really curious about that one.
Yeah? What are you curious about?
Well, I'm just, what made you think of that, and how did it turn out? I mean, how did you do it? What did you end up, did you bring it in dry? Is it carbonated? I'm really curious. It's an interesting combination. I think they're both awesome. I like the peppery flavor, and I like to use peppers as well, so.
Look, pink peppercorn, it's named a pepper, but it's not actually a peppercorn. So it's a berry. It's completely different to all the other, black, white, Szechuan peppers, green peppers, and things like that. It's a completely different species, completely different family. I think it's called pipe or something. But it has I won't say it's like sumac or something like that, but, it has this little twist at the end, maybe a little citrus twist, but don't go thinking oranges or anything like that. So strawberries, everyone loves strawberries. We have a farmer up here from Kiama, Strawberry Pat. He was throwing strawberries at me there, so we made about 40 litres that had, I'm not lying, it had about 20 kilos of strawberries in it. So really loaded up with a lot of fresh strawberries, all up front in primary. The pink peppercorn I just felt would go well with strawberries, and it certainly sounded good when you said it, so let's give it a go, strawberry and pink peppercorns. Vanilla, obviously, to create a little bit of sweetness, because I'm fermenting dry, because I'm aiming for dry. Really surprising, that was on at 5 Barrels over the birthday weekend. the perception of that was a lot sweeter than the numbers were. Like, it literally fermented out to 1.000 from memory. Like, it's as dry as you're going to get. But adding that vanilla, and we have a vanilla bean guy here who sources vanilla beans from all over the world, so Tahitian. I really love the sound of the Madagascar bourbon vanilla bean. I'd seen, I think Michael Fairbrother over there at Moonlight Meadery is a big fan of it. Everyone I was looking at is using this Madagascar bourbon vanilla bean, so I want to give that a go. They were really juicy, really thick. Like, the best vanilla beans I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and then I really like those.
Oh, amazing. I spoke to the guy and he explained the differences and what you were trying to, the end result. And then aged it on a bit of oak. From memory, there's a combination of French and American oak. That's sort of where I'm at the moment, is a blend of the two. And that was out of the 4 that we released during that sort of soft opening. That was the closest we had to a wine. However, it was still made with an ale yeast.
Interesting. It sounds delicious.
Yeah, well, I've got 40 litres of it at the moment, so if you can get over here quickly enough, Vicky, we'll get it.
Well, just set one aside because I don't have a date yet. I'm working on that, so it's gonna empty the coffers for me to travel around this country for 3 months or 2.5 months this summer. So it'll be, at the earliest, it'll be next year, and that would be my plan. Would be to maybe get over there next year after the Mazer Cup or something.
Perfect.
I promised Joel prior to the show to increase the pressure on you to get over here.
Oh, I know. He's like lining people up to go, Vicky, when are you coming to Australia? It's like, I'm friggin' working on it,
Hey, Vicky, when are you going to Australia?
Yeah, when are you coming with me, AJ?
Whenever. I'm too poor.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, exactly. That's the whole thing. Is like, first I have to have a couple grand for a plane ticket, so, And that's just assuming that I'm the only one who goes. If John comes with me, then we're talking $4 grand for plane tickets.
No.
You gotta regret the things that you do, not the things that you don't do.
Oh, I'm totally. That's why we're taking this. My friends are like, "How can you take off for 2.5 months to travel around the country?" And I'm like, "Because if we don't do it now, when?"
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can, and so we're gonna. And is it gonna add expenses to my bottom line? Totally. But oh my God, the things we're gonna do, the places we're gonna see, the people I'm gonna meet. It's an awesome thing. So, not to mention that I get meadery stops in like 10 states.
I don't think there's even 10 states in the country, but unless you're including New Zealand as a state.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would like to go to New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand. But Hamish just promised me basically the East Coast tour of Australia, and because it is a big place, and we only got so much time. And then he's promised me snorkeling on cool reefs. And because I totally fell in love with reef snorkeling. Well, he's promised me diving. I've got to get my diving ticket between now and when I come out. So if I can, I don't know. But
I can afford to promise lots because by the time she gets here, she'll have forgotten.
No, I won't. Oh, no. I'm writing this shit down, Hamish. You are in so much trouble.
Well, look, they don't call it the Great Barrier Reef for nothing. It's not called the OK Barrier Reef or the All Right Barrier Reef.
It's not like the so-so Barrier Reef. It's
That's right. That's it, man. So. Obviously, that's where I used to work. I spent nearly 10 years living on the Great Barrier Reef. So you make sure you let me know, and we'll see what we can do.
I totally will. We'll ditch Hamish, and we can go out there. That's what he gets for giving me a hard time, and I'll have forgotten everything. Yeah, we'll get him. We'll just ditch him. We'll grab Bruce, and you and me and Bruce can go out there, and
Bruce the shark.
Not Bruce the shark. Not that Bruce. No. Bruce the Chinese. Bruce the Chinese Doogie Howser guy. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh lordy.
I love Bruce. I love Bruce to pieces, but he does look like he's 16. Which is awesome because when he's 45,
Yeah.
Hi, Bruce, if you're listening.
Yeah, hi, Bruce. I love you. Bruce and I ganged up on Hamish a lot while they were here. So.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
You're so easy to pick on, Hamish. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, Australia has been on my list of, at the top of my list of places to visit. There was a time during which my husband and I seriously wanted to emigrate.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
you know, and then we found out how hard it is to do that. And they were like, oh, well then.
You just found out that our politicians are just as bad as yours. That's all.
No, at the time, they looked better. You know, now, yeah, it's pretty much bad everywhere. But yeah, I mean, it would have been a neat thing to live there for a while. It's something that I wouldn't mind doing at all.
Do it. You bring your RV across, and what we call them grey nomads. You can just drive around the country and visit all these beautiful places and just kick back and relax. It's what it's all about.
They call them snowbirds here because they tend to migrate south to the places where it doesn't have winter in the wintertime, and then they go back up north in the summertime.
Yeah, that's the Canadians that you call snowbirds.
They come down.
Actually, that's the New Yorkians. It's the New Yorkians that we call that.
Yeah, but like half of Florida's from Quebec in the winter.
Yeah, there's that.
So yeah,
and now there's meaderies down there, so I can get down there now and feel like I belong. There didn't used to be, and I was in no way going to be associating with those folks, but hey. Now there's like 3 meaderies. One of them's going to be in the Keys, and totally fell in love with the Keys, so hey.
Any place that's home to Jimmy Buffett and margaritas is always a good place for me, I reckon.
Yep. Totally.
Do it.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, we've got 3 meaderies now, 1 on the Panhandle, 2 in Tampa, and I hear 1 in the Keys, so they're all in the process right now.
Perfect. It's exploding over there, isn't it, at the moment? I mean, it's the fastest alcohol industry in the States. It's huge.
It's nuts, Joel. I kid you not. I literally, every day, I stumble across another one on Facebook who's either in process or just opened. And a lot of them are they're very small little cottage meaderies, but they're open, they're producing mead, they're, bringing mead to their area. And, I mean, it's just stunning how huge it is here and how fast it's growing. And I just hope that it spills over to the rest of the world, so that momentum gets picked up everywhere. I think it'd be awesome.
It's coming. I mean, mead is probably where craft beer was, I'd like to say 5 years ago in Australia.
It's more like 10, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to say 5, so it doesn't take that long before it becomes mainstream. I think it is more like 10 years before it is up there. But I really, really enjoyed last week listening to Suanne and listening to Thistle Meadery, and she's doing super small batches. They're super limited. I think she was saying some of her batches, 20 litres at the time. So there's like 80 people that will get their hands on some of her mead, and it's so exciting that she is keeping her operation going, keeping herself in business by producing such a small amount, and that's really, I think, inspirational. We have a lot of guys on our Australian Mead Makers page that are talking about setting this up, but maybe be a bit reluctant about what's the market like. Is there a market for it at the moment? I can't afford to go all out and buy all this equipment. You might not have to, man. I mean, when I was over there in Detroit and Ferndale at Ken's place, he didn't have a bottling line or anything like that, and he's saying the best meads in the world. So we don't have to invest our children and our grandchildren and our house and our mortgage and our troopies into starting a business. We can start off small, and if we make a quality product, you can still keep your business going, and hopefully in Australia it will start to follow on from this cider revival that has occurred in the last couple of years. Cider is so mainstream now, and hopefully mead is the next drink that will follow on in this country. That's my aim anyway.
Well, I think that in a way it's going because what I mean, while the renaissance of mead kind of took off in the States first, even though there are some European countries that never stopped making it, they didn't really, get it out there. They weren't really saying, "Hey, look, mead." They just kind of, it was part of their culture. So they, like Poland and the former Soviet Socialist